Good morning, precious. Mwah, 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 mwah. How you doing, baby? Happy Tuesday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Shakenya, and hit subscribe, guys. Look at some of the videos, and if you see any of them that you like, just hit share. It's like you starting at the ground floor with me. Yep, I ain't famous yet. People know me, even though they act like they don't. They know me. But I'm at the ground level. I ain't famous yet, but I'm climbing, right? So if you get in now and help support that effort, shit. First of all, I'll be famous before you know it. I'll be a household name. Everybody be talking about me in my videos, right? And I'll be famous. Like, they'll really know me. That way, when you do share the videos, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I share Shakenya videos, too. Yeah, that's my girl. Yeah, I'm everybody's best friend in their head, right? But it takes you to help me get there. So do that for your girl, right? So today, I'm all over the place. I ain't gonna even lie. Y'all know I'm working on time management. And it has not been working for me. So these last couple days, I kind of been missing the mark by maybe 15, 20 minutes or something like that. And I gotta stop that because that's putting me back to where I was before I started working on time management. Time management, I'm working ahead, meaning I'm putting myself 20, 30 minutes ahead of stuff. So when I get there, I'm early, but on time. You know what I mean? So it's all good, though. I'm going to work it out. I've been working it out, getting through, making sure everything get done. Just a little exhausted at the end of the day because if you don't properly plan and you running around like a chicken with your head cut off, it's exhausting. But when you pre-plan stuff and you able to get there early, you able to sit and chill, get your thoughts together, you're less stressed, right? So trust me, I'm time management. I'm going to continue to do it, but I fell off these couple days. I overextended myself. Took on a couple jobs and didn't quite plan them out exactly to the T. And you can't do that anyway. You can't do that anyway, especially in my line of work, because I deal with mud and the time it takes for certain things to dry and set before you can move on to the next phase. I can't really get around it, right? But like, for instance, Sunday, if I didn't go to church and went to the job that I'm working on now, I would have been finished Sunday. So those 3 or 4 hours that was blocked out because I got up, got dressed, went to church, went home, changed, loaded the car, that was like about 3 or 4 hours. If I would have been there doing the work, I would have been finished yesterday. I would have been finished probably Sunday, right? Or yesterday. Because I went back yesterday to tidy up, but I probably would have been completed, but I'm not. So I got to go back today, and I got like maybe about 2 hours worth of work to finish before I can say I'm done with this job. And it's okay, but that's jobs that I can't take because it's tied up now because I got to, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm missing money, right? Because a job that I should have took today, I put off until tomorrow, right? So, it's okay. I'm all right. I'm okay, right? It's business. It's just business, yeah. So, y'all, I'm going to try to make it real quick. I titled it, Are Your Affairs in Order? But I might go around in a circle and come back. Is that okay with you? So it's sort of like a lecture, but not for real. Because I'm going to go as fast as I can, but I'm going to try to cover everything I wrote. So do you have your affairs in order? Yeah. This keeps me up at night. Among other things, right? Yeah. Thinking about that baby. How that baby is, not being there for her, watching her grow up. Oh my God, I miss her so much. She was such a joy, right? She was such a joy. Oh, even the little issue that we did have was minor compared to the bond and the relationship I had with that baby, right? Oh, I miss her. So we all miss her terribly. And it shows. Everybody that I'm dealing with now, my kids, they are different versions of themselves without her being in our life. It's like I'm dealing with people that I don't know, right? Because they are not the same as they was when the baby was in our lives. I'm not the same, right? I held on to a lot of parts of me that are the same, right? I didn't change too much, right? But I'm not the same, right? So I fight every day to remain the same. I pray to the Lord every day, please, let me stay, because I love who I was, right? And I still love me. But the parent that I was to all the children, the person that I was while I was parenting all the children, I want that back. And a part of that left when the baby left, right? So, yeah, it's been hard, guys, especially when you don't know why. Yeah, when you go through stuff, because you're going to go through stuff in life, but chances are if you're going through something, you probably know why you're there and why it happened, and you know, right? But when you don't expect to go through something and it just happens, it can become traumatic, right? It can become hard to deal with, right? And you got to make the best out of it. So, yeah, it's been very hard for all of us without her. Yeah, very hard. So, yeah, so that keeps me up at night. Not being settled, right? Because in plan A, at this stage in life, me and my children, we will be millionaires. So technically we will be wealthy and we will be financially stable, right? So therefore it's hard not being there. I know y'all see me. I be with the bravado. I be flying out. I got a plan for all of that. I gotta put money away to do that. I have to save, right? I depend on sponsors from the show, right? It's a lot of elements that goes into it as to opposed to if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't have to deal with it all. I have my own jet or something. You know what I mean? So it's like it's hard to deal with the life that I'm living now compared to the life that I felt I should have if plan A wasn't interrupted, right? So yeah, so just not being there financially. Yeah. And then not having all my affairs in order. Oh my goodness. Oh, that make me pucker. That's a hard pill to swallow, being 52 and not having all my affairs in order, right? Now, I have some in order. I have taken, I've done a few things, but not everything that I name off to you today have been done, and it should be, right? So just know, if I mention something and you didn't do it and you don't have it and you about my age, a particular age, don't feel bad, and just know that I'm not judging you, right? Because I'm not there either. Yeah, but just know I'm working on it. Just know that. Now, I might be a step ahead of you because I'm probably diligently working on it and you probably not even thought about it. But for the most part, we in the same bucket if it ain't been done, right? Right. So, yeah, but before I get there, I might go around in a circle, but I'm going to bring us back there, okay? You with that? Okay. I had to get up because that looked like my little cousin. Oh, no, that's Kevin. God damn. Hey, John Drama. How you doing, boo? Kevin. Good morning, Kevin. I ain't gonna do you like that, baby, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I appreciate the fact that you follow me and you come on and you state how you feel and you share your opinion on my post. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm talking to my guy Kevin on Facebook, who's been very vocal with a couple of the posts that I put up, to where we actually have had a back and forth exchange about how we both feel and sharing our opinions, as mature adults should, right? And I appreciate you, Kevin. I do. Good morning. Mwah. So y'all, back at it. Yeah, so we would never be the same. We would never be the same. And I'm gonna be honest with you, part of me not having all my affairs in order was due to her being taken away. Yeah, like she was. And everybody be like, well, Shakenya, you can't blame all the disorders. You can't blame the fact that y'all not wealthy. You can't blame the fact that everything was destroyed just in a matter of time in the last 6 years that the baby's been gone. You can't blame all that on the baby being gone. Au contraire, mon frère. But I can, right? Because see, in my line of work with my youth program, Attitude Adjustment, that's all I do all day is assist families on how to figure out why the baby is broken. And the system that I've been using for over 20 years is the timeline, where we can actually go back, notice when you were having issues with your baby, and we can kind of pinpoint whatever something that was going on during that time that could have possibly broke the baby, right? Let's say your baby been stealing, and he been doing this for about 2 or 3 years now. Well, let's see what was going on 2 or 3 years ago. Well, 2 or 3 years ago, we moved. 2 or 3 years ago, the grandma passed away. 2 or 3 years ago. So they named like 3 or 4 things that was going on 2 or 3 years ago that could have possibly affected this baby. And then you got to go back to how each one of these things that you just mentioned could have possibly impacted that baby. And once you figure that out, then you'll know what type of help to get this baby. It could have been the grandma's death that affected and took him over the edge. That made him, it could have been that. So he would need grief counseling, right? It could have been the move. And that's why he acting out, because he don't have contact with his friends anymore or something, or the things that he used to do, the place he used to go play, he can't go now because y'all stay clear across town. So that's why, that might be the reason why the baby is acting out, right? Maybe we can reconnect him with his friends. Maybe we can get him to a new place in the new neighborhood to where he can do the activity that he was doing there. Yeah, it's a lot of thought that got to go into it. That's why I charge the big bucks, because it's a lot of time and effort that got to go into figuring it out. But when you enroll in the program, I'm gonna help you figure it out. So when we do our timeline, it all goes back to when the baby left and lost contact with everyone. Because it wasn't that she just went to stay with her father. When she went to stay with her father, there has been no contact or communication in the last 7 years. I hate to holler, but I got to make that clear to you that a mother has not seen her daughter in 7 years. A brother has not seen his sister in 7 years. An uncle haven't not. Yeah, a sister hasn't been a big sister. You got to understand the devastation of it all. And there was no abuse or neglect. She was actually in a loving home. She was actually in a learning environment. She was actually safe and was being raised with love. That don't happen. You don't remove a child from that. You do not fight to remove a child from that. If you must fight to remove a child, let it be because they're being abused by the parent or they're being neglected by the parent. And let that be the only reason why you fight to remove your child. But you don't fight a parent and they doing everything they supposed to do. It's so confusing to everybody that's involved. That's why it's so much psychological damage, and that's why mental therapy is usually encouraged, because somebody got to help you undo all of that wrong thinking, all of those intrusive thoughts, all of those lies, all of the, you know what I'm saying? So you might need help doing that. So, yeah, she was like the golden child. I know. And for those of you who follow me, I don't mean in the sense of favoritism. She was not the favorite. She was not treated as the favorite. No, she was the golden child to us because she was the baby. So we all kind of poured into her. We all took care of her. It's a picture that I'm going to change and use as my profile pic today. It's my little brother parting her hair. One morning I was cooking breakfast. I asked him, we was running late. I asked him would he do her hair for me. He was sitting down and he put it in 2 ponytails so that I can finish cooking breakfast. We'll still have time to eat and everybody get off to school on time, right? And so so I captured a picture of him parting her hair, right? That's how much care and concern we put into that baby. So you got to understand, for her to be pulled away, not looking back as if it was okay if she wanted to go, that was devastating to everybody. And none of us have been able to deal with it, right? So for the last 7 years, we've all have been the opposite of who we really are, or just a version of who we really could be, right? So yeah, it's been very hard, very hard. So let's see. A picture I was doing, she was doing her hair. I can finish. Yeah, my children, by me raising them in my likeness, they were extensions of me. So that means they were able to do everything that I can do, right? So that means I can be in 4 different places at one time, right? I know. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So you can just imagine how much I was getting done, right? So yeah, I can have my kids go out and do anything that I was needing to do or was about to do. I can ask either one of them to do and they would be able to do it. And do it as if I did it. Yeah. Yeah, she was everything to us, right? And my kids are everything to me. So to have one taken away, it's very devastating. Yeah. I don't know how I do it every day. Yeah. I think because I pray. I think because I pray, and I think because I believe in God, and I know He don't make no mistakes, and it's a reason why this is happening, right? And it all, and to be honest with you, when things happen and you think they happening to you, sometimes the lesson ain't for you. Sometimes it's for the people that's involved. I know it might feel like it's for you because you probably the one going through it and you hurting and you, yeah, because I tell you, my heart is in a million pieces, right? But it's a reason for it, I guess, at the end of the day, right? So I don't question. I just roll with the flow. I'm just trying to parent the kids that I have left for the people that they are right now, that they have become. Because they've become different people in the last 6 years. I know, ain't that crazy? Yeah, because you got to think about it. They in 24, 30 something, they were already the people that they were going to be 6 years ago. They were already perfect beings. They were already perfect. They were already the product that I created them to be throughout all my instilling morals and values and lessons and teaching all those classes. They were already there. It wasn't no need for them to alter themselves. It wasn't no need. The only thing they had to do was get better. All they had to do was stay on the path that they was on and get better. Right? So, yeah, for them not to be who they supposed to be or should be in my mind, yeah, this was so tragic. Oh, so yeah, we just mere versions of ourselves. We're not fulfilling our full potential as the result of this. We're lacking confidence. We're not moving forward. We're stuck. We're sitting here trying to figure out why this baby left us. We're sitting up here trying to figure out reasons why. Because if there's no reason, you got to create one. So just like He created a reason for Him to have to feel like He needed to pull her out away from us in order for her to be the person that she was already the person that she was going to be too. Ooh, Lord, fix it. Jesus, fix it. So all my children, although they are apart and distant, they are suffering in the same way because of how I raised them, right? I know the world we living in right now, baby, is hell, okay? So, yeah, and then just the fact that I know what's ahead, I know what's going on. Yeah, just because I know, it don't give me no comfort. Yeah, because it still got to play out. Everything still got to play out, no matter how it ends, right? So, yeah, through this process of playing out, it is so hard, baby. It is so hard, so depressing, right? So, yeah. So if there's no need for her to be removed, there's no reason for her not to be in our life and talk to her, and there's no reason, you got to create one. So since there was no reason for her to be removed from my children, they're looking at reasons for why she could have been removed, right? So now you're looking at yourself, right? Now you're starting to dislike yourself because it's something about you that made him pull her away. Is the thought that a child has. It's the same thought process a child has when y'all divorce. First thing come to mind is they think that they the reason why y'all getting a divorce. They think that they the reason. They think they the reason. They think it's because they bad or get in trouble or something like that. And it weighs on them heavily until you tell them that it wasn't them. Yep, you have to actually tell a child that when y'all get ready to divorce, remember that talk I told y'all should have when y'all sit down and figure out what y'all going to do next, how y'all going to move forward, who's moving out, and y'all sit down and actually decide what would be the best way to do it. And remember, sometimes I said you might have to stay a little longer, like if you wanted to leave tonight. You can't stand her. You want to leave her right now. But you can't because it don't make sense. You ain't even got nowhere to go. You might have to stay for 6 months to save up some money for you to get you an apartment, right? But that's an agreement that y'all got to decide that this is what's going to happen, and in 6 months, you got to be gone. So that means y'all can't be messing around, doing the hoochie coochie, none of that. You stay in a room down the hall, you save your money for these 6 months, and then you get the hell on, and we're going to go on and proceed with this divorce. But at least y'all have a plan, right? Ain't nobody asked out. Ain't nobody left. Just, you know what I mean? Like in my divorce, he left on his pay week and didn't look back. Just left us. He knew he was behind in the mortgage. He knew that I was behind in my car note because of him. He knew all this. I had helped him pay his car. He took left and went to go stay with his mama. Didn't give us no money, no nothing. And he left his father. So I was responsible for another child that we had together and his father. Yes, you heard me say that right. I took care of his father after he left us. His father was staying with us. And he left. And when he packed up all his stuff, he left the daddy. I just got to keep saying that so you can understand how it happened or what happened. So I took care of this man. You would think that that would be enough to gain me forgiveness. You would think the fact that I took care of his father until he got on his feet, with no help from him or his sister or his mama, financially or nothing. You would think because I didn't throw him out or put him out on the street and actually took care of him as if he was my father, that would have earned me a place somewhere where that baby is concerned, right? That baby loved her grandpa, right? But then it also gets you to thinking about how they had such a low regard for me as a mother. They had a very low regard for him as a father because they didn't even look back. He should have took his daddy when he took his radio. They should have took care of him. That shouldn't have been my responsibility. So that right there lets me know however way they were raised, however way the mother raised them, the sense of responsibilities and roles had been switched somewhere along the lines for them not to know that the responsibility of him taking care of his own father should have fell on him. This shit get deep, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I ain't got these on my wall for nothing, right? So, fix it, Jesus, fix it. So yeah, I can honestly say it was because of her that slowed up the process, because while I should be thinking about sitting back, working on my retirement, working on everything else, trying to build this generational wealth for my kids and whatnot, all the stuff that I need to be doing to keep my affairs in order, I'm too busy backtracking trying to save my children. I'm too busy backtracking trying to parent these new people that I'm dealing with right now. I don't know these people. I do not know the children that I have right now. I don't know the baby, because my baby would never turn her back on me. I don't know my oldest daughter. I don't know my son anymore. I don't know my little brother anymore. These are new people that I'm dealing with and getting to know, right? Because whoever they are turning out to be, I have to accept them for who they are, and I have to, even if it's not what I look for or what I'm used to. Because you got to keep in mind, everybody was good before the baby left. So the people that they were 6 years ago were the people that I know and was used to parenting. And that was, hey, that's what so these new people that I'm being introduced to, I'm just parenting on the fly because I don't know what to do. Yep. I ain't never been one that don't know what to do. Just been lost for just, never have I ever. Why? Because I try to prepare for stuff. Yep. Try to be prepared. Yep. Oh, you'll be surprised. I try to plan. Yep. Because you never want to be caught with your pants down, right? Never want to be caught bent over in the back of a 6 over there. You don't want that. And the best way to do that is to plan. Properly plan for stuff, right? So, yeah, not to have my affairs in order, not to be prepared for this world. Like right now, I'm halfway prepared, you know. I got my passport. I can leave and go to another country if I want to because I'm not a fan of this new administration, right? But my money ain't right. So I just can't do that. I just can't up and leave like that if I wanted to. But in plan A, me and all my children would be financially able and stable enough to lead a country if we wanted to, right? Because I was preparing them, not just for that. I'm not going to say I was preparing them for that, but I was preparing them for the world as a whole. Meaning them being men of color, women of color, how we are, how we've been treated, where we're going, where we're trying to go, planning for the future, be better than our counterparts, have our own entrepreneurship, home ownership, investments, all the stuff. So that if anything ever happens, such as how it's happening now, yeah, if they want to go where they want to go, they can go. And be okay, right? So a lot was interrupted when she was pulled out. So yes, I can say that. I can, right? So, yeah, it took a toll on us. When she left, everything stopped. And then slowly started picking back up. But when it started picking back up, all those jobs, everything that was in the plan, all those roles and responsibilities was only left on me. So I'm like carrying the weight of like 5 people in order to make sure plan A sustains and plan A continues to go. Like I'm forced daily to sit down and make decisions on, do I want to continue or not? Do I want to continue doing this? Do I want to continue doing that? Is it bringing me money? Is it worth it? And how much money going out? How much, so and I shouldn't have to make choices like that because everything I'm doing right now is contributing to generational wealth. For my children after me to still have and be financially secure, right? All that comes with you handling your affairs, making sure your affairs is in order, making sure that you have it set up to where they will get an inheritance. Right? So, I can't think about that. I'm in survival mode right now. I'm not relaxed sitting by the beach worrying IRAs and trading by day because I'm not doing that. I'm out here busting my ass every day working. I'm out here busting my ass every day working. I ain't got, by the time I get home, I'm going to sleep. I'm not about to get on the computer and do some more work. I'm probably going to go to sleep, right? It wasn't set up like that. And it shouldn't be like that. But it is. And this is my reality, right? So, my children got to face their own reality right now. Solo. So all this time I've been raising them with the team aspect, being a team player, being there for one another, just within the last 6 years. So it all points back to the time that the baby was left. Everything I'm telling you right now points back to right around the time. So for those of you who be saying it ain't had nothing to do with that, yeah, it did. Because it wasn't just the fact that she was pulled out, it was in the manner that she was pulled out. She was pulled out as if we were not good enough, we were worthless. She wouldn't have been able to be who she is today if he wouldn't have pulled her out. All the perceptions and everything that you line up and you would think for a father to have to come in and rescue, he set up the whole narrative to make it appear like that. So that's how her story is being written right now, as if she does not have a mom, as if her mother doesn't love her, as if her mother is not in her life, and whatever effects that you think comes from a child that thinks like that or feels like that is definitely happening to her. She can't be no different than no other kid. Yeah, I don't care how people might want to set it up and make it seem. She can't be happy without a mama. I don't care how it appears. I don't care if she's smiling in every picture. There's no way she can be happy without a mother. No child that I was ever serviced in the last 20 years of me having attitude adjustment youth program that was happy without a mom. Never have I ever, right? I haven't even serviced too many kids that didn't want to be without a father. Every child that come through the attitude adjustment program wish they had a father in their life. Right? So both parents being in a child's life is the most healthiest thing that you can do. And if y'all get along as parents, that's the best. That's the best. So everything started back rolling, but it was just a little slow. It was times that I just felt like giving up. What was the purpose? Right? I know everything you see I'm doing, everything I've been doing for years, helping people, doing what I do for the community. What's the purpose if my kids ain't there to share it with me? Right? I was doing all this for them. Yeah. You got to think about it. We was working on so much. Something that I should have meant something to somebody. Whether it should have meant something to that kid, it should have meant something to that daddy, it should have meant something to the people in his camp. Something that I'm doing should have been just that important to where I mattered. My children mattered. My family mattered. Right? Something about me. Something about us. Yeah, something. Right? Because we was working on so much. Yep. All the dreams. Oh my God. We had so many. Oh my goodness. That plan was ironclad. It's hard to believe that anybody was able to infiltrate and get in. It's hard to believe because I made sure I sealed all the gaps and crevices and put the locks on. I built that foundation so strong, right? You had to do a lot to get in and infiltrate. Trust and believe you had to be working day and night on how to infiltrate and climb over my wall or get in or... So all it took to infiltrate was to remove that baby. Yep. Remove that baby. That's all it took was to knock down all those walls and that foundation. To not have the love of that baby. Not to hear her voice. Not to hear her tell me she loved me. Not to hear her say she loved her brothers and sisters. My kids tell each other they love each other every time we hang up the phone. Every time we leave each other's sight. Do you know when I see my oldest daughter, I pick her up and kiss her every time I see her. And I got a bad back. But that's how much I love them, right? The baby got the same treatment, so it's hard to believe that she didn't feel love. Because that's what they got to do. They got to make your child not feel loved by you. Ain't that evil? Ain't that evil to make a child feel like they're not loved by you so they can gain control? I know. Sadistic. It's crazy. It's diabolical. So you got all the dreams and plans we were working on so much. Something should have meant something to somebody. She was a part of the program. Yeah, Attitude Adjustment Youth Program. Her and my other daughter and my son, they were mentors. Yep. They used to volunteer at every event that we had when they were coming up. We used to give away backpacks every year. They would stuff the backpacks on a Saturday, right? But they were mentors in the program. So right before the baby left, before COVID hit, we had a couple of pilot runs of the girls working with me in the family meetings. And it went off just like I thought it would. Yeah. They performed exactly how I thought they would. They administered the services that Attitude Adjustment provides with no complications. So at this stage of the game, before the baby went off to college, her and my daughter would have been able to train other young ladies from the college here to become mentors and take their place. Because remember, the oldest daughter was in nursing and the baby was going to 11th grade at Cass Tech, and then she was going off to college like she did after she graduated. So before they left and went off and did their own thing, they would have been able to train the young ladies to take their place so that I could still have young women mentors in the program. Fix it, Jesus. So yeah, it's hard to believe that the baby didn't think that was important. Yeah, she acted like she loved the program. So if she didn't, I didn't know about it. Yep. She seemed like she had a sense of accomplishment after the family meetings we had. She acted like she was comfortable talking to the young ladies and mentoring to them when we went to the jail tours. She acted like she enjoyed it. She was interactive with everything. Her and my oldest daughter, they asked questions. So yeah, we was working on that before she left. Yep. Fix it, Jesus. Yep. Yep. We had just lost some major cleaning contracts, right? So I was in the process of getting some more contracts for us, some more cleaning contracts. So we had just had the schools in Westland, a school in Inkster. We had the Birmingham Municipal Center, right? But it was a subcontracting situation that wasn't good for us. So to lose them, I was going to let them go anyway, because I was already in the process of looking for a place like where I'm at right now. Coverall is a good place. Janet King is a good place. I'm with Jam Pro. Yep, so I'm going to definitely recommend that. But if you're thinking about, if you have a cleaning company and you're thinking about franchising, or you're thinking about going somewhere where they'll give you contracts, like a subcontract situation, those are 3 places that I can honestly recommend because I've dealt with them, right? So I was in the process of setting that back up, because you got to think about it. If it's 5 of us, and 5 of us have 6 contracts or 7 contracts to ourselves, you got to think about how much money that is a month that's accumulated. I got 7 contracts just by myself. So just imagine if all of us had 7 contracts, right? So you got to think about that money that they would have from those contracts. They would be able to invest in their own businesses, right? My little brother Jay would have been able to invest in his own garage. He would have been able to go back to school, get a certificate, become a mechanic, whatever he wants. But he'll have his own garage, right? On top of his landscaping company. That's more money, right? And then you got to think about my son. My son is a chef. Think about how many food trucks he would have right now, if not his own restaurant right now. The girls would have had a boutique, right? So it's just ironic to me that the baby is the only one that has a business. Fix it. Jesus, fix it, right? So we was working on the cleaning company. So we was at the stage in the cleaning company where after I got the next set of contracts and gave everybody their contracts, I could start teaching them the human resource side of the business, right? The interviewing process for people, right? The hiring of people, the firing of people, inspecting your buildings, knowing how to inspect your buildings, right? Being able to, the marketing side of it, knowing how to promote your business, right? All the skills that I was teaching them for the cleaning company are the skills and the foundation that you can use for any business that you want to start. I believe the baby was going to school for business management. Yeah. So everything that I was raising her up under the umbrella, I was raising her up under, all that falls in line with her going off to school and doing what she's doing right now. And I'm not a part of none of that. He taking credit for all of that. And he ain't doing shit. And like I said, this is not a show to bash him, but this is a show to let you know the truth. And he ain't doing nothing. He ain't got no business. He ain't graduate from college. How could he have won? How could he have caused so much destruction? So that's why I'm on this journey, and this is why this is set up like a crime scene. It's like a case, because we got to figure out what could he have done that would have been able to tear all that down and destroy so many lives just by pulling that baby out. Why would she even want to go? Why would she even want to go? She loved us, and we loved her, and we showed it. Why would she even want? So yeah, you got to think about all of that, because all that plays a part. Yep, all that plays a part. So I would have been able to teach them bookkeeping, right? I would have been teaching them about how to spend the money, how to buy materials, how to balance their checkbook, you know what I'm saying, paying their employees. Yeah, he ripped her out. I wasn't able to teach none of that. So here it is. I'm raising these kids to be bosses and raising them to be leaders. And I couldn't even put them where they need to be able to be that, right? So they got the mentality of bosses. They got the mentality but this stunted everybody's growth. Ain't nobody doing none of that. Me and the baby the only ones still doing. Fix it. Jesus, fix it, right? So yeah, the money earned, they would have been able to start their own business. That would have been the seed money for their own ventures, right? Because I raised them to be bosses. So they would have been able to be bosses at their own businesses, right? That's why when I say we would be millionaires, now that you calculating that money over the last 6 years, where will we be? You do the math. Right. We will be what? Millionaires. You adding it up. You adding up how much my little brother probably will be making as a mechanic. You adding up how much he will be making with his landscaping company and got people working for him. You adding up how much money my son will be making on his food truck. You adding up how much the girls will be making at their boutique. I know. And an online store, you go in the store and you see how gorgeous they look. Yeah, you gonna spend money, right? You adding all that up. And you adding the money that they getting from the cleaning companies. Oh, and you add my money up too from the cleaning company and the paint jobs and stuff that you see me doing. Because you come to my lab, you see me doing it, right? And you adding up the fact that the kids can do the same thing. So now if I get a couple paint jobs, they actually working the same time I'm working on the paint. Oh my God, fixing Jesus. Yep. So we was working on so much when he pulled her out, right? Yeah. Her being pulled out the way that she was, something was terribly wrong, right? It got everybody questioning who they are. Got everybody questioning who they are as people. Got everybody questioning their roles, what they're supposed to be doing, their responsibilities. Oh, fixing Jesus. Their morals and values are coming into play. They're questioning themselves. Oh, my goodness, right? Yeah, it destroyed us, baby. It introduced us to new generational curses that will begin now. Yep. It introduced us to new dysfunctions. Yep. I had got rid of our generational curses. Yep. No more kids at 17. Yep. And from here on in, every child in our family will have a father in their life. Because my sons are fathers to their kids. Even though they grew up without one. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. So to go through all that to get rid of generational curses and make sure we don't have the same dysfunctions going through, I even wrote a book about it. Want to hear it? Here it go. Right? Just to be introduced to new ones because of that baby being pulled away. I know. So yeah, it kind of slowed down a lot. I'm just trying to get back on track now. Right? Yeah, because you never pull a child away from a household that's functioning. So for her to be pulled out, it got everybody questioning what was wrong. Because something had to be wrong. Right? Right. So something got to be wrong with themselves. Right? Right. Wasn't nothing wrong with none of them. They was all perfect. Right? Right. So, do you have all your affairs in order? Do you have all your important documents in a place where everybody knows where they are? Like your family. Something happened to you. They got to figure out your kids. They got to get to all your birth certificates, your social security card, your deed to the house, your bank account, all that type of paperwork. Do everybody know where to go to get it? Yep. Make sure they do. Do you have an advance directive? It's like a living will. It's where somebody can make medical decisions, or medical decisions are made for you if you are incapacitated and not able to make them for yourself. Do you have a typical will? Where everything is addressed in your will on where you want your things to go. Who gets what? Do you have a power of attorney? Somebody that you trust that'll take care of your business, your medical issues, your financial issues without you. Meaning you're not in a position to do it. But you got one person that you trust that's able to make those decisions for you. Are you leaving an inheritance? Who are your beneficiaries? Have you identified who they are? Start a living trust. And this is a legal document that allows you to transfer your assets to your beneficiaries without having to go through probate court. Do you have life insurance? Something happened to you, you die tomorrow, you got life insurance to where your kids is able to bury you properly and take care of all your final wishes? And still might have a little couple dollars in their pocket to pay some of your bills and debt? Life insurance. Do you have all your final wishes and arrangements taken care of? Meaning you already know how you want to go. Do your family know how you want to go? Yep. You might want to write all that out. Yep. So y'all, let's have a coffee conversation. Real girls again. I know it was a lecture. I got a lot to do. Have y'all been following the story with Charles Brooks and that castle on Chalmers? You know what I'm talking about, that castle. I don't know if it's on Forest or Canfield. But that man down built that whole structure. The city, what they trying to do? I'm going to have to do some more investigation. I seen a lie today. The water company was coming to cut his water off. So I don't know if they're trying to push this brother out. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to try to find out and get to the bottom of it. But it's that gentleman that got that big old house right there on Chalmers. Yep. It's all right, y'all. Have a good day. I'm out.